This business, it's all about the customer because, you're doing somebody's house. It's basically, it's not a job. I'm helping people every day. I go to their house. I'm helping them with a problem, whether they need to fix the roof, they need to change the look of their house. And you make one person happy, it spreads to the next person. It's like a virus. It just keeps spreading and spreading and spreading.
Hey everybody, welcome to this edition of In the Den. I got proud owner of Cherry Exteriors with me, Josh Cherry. He's having a record year already, and he's crushing numbers, and he's here to tell his story and tell you how to do it also. Josh, welcome to the show, my friend.
It's a pleasure, man. Thank you. Thank
Josh,
you for having me.
Not everybody knows you. You're having a record year. First, tell everybody who you are and what you do.
I'm Josh Cherry, owner of Alan Cherry's Exteriors. We do roofing, siding, windows, gutters, all exterior remodeling. Family owned since 1975.
And you fired my ass.
I did.
And you fired me.
In the early 2000s, I did.
Jesus Lord. So, true story.
Yeah.
Josh was one of my first clients.
You knocked on my door.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I knocked on your door. That's how I started One SEO. Most people don't know that.
Yeah.
Most people just think, boom, it just magically appears. But that's not true.
Yeah.
But let's talk about that. You fired me. You went with someone else.
Yeah.
Why?
It was the early days of SEO, early days of the internet advertising. We only gave it like a couple months. We expected this big return from the beginning. A couple months, we didn't believe in it. We cut it off. Went back to the old advertising, paper advertising, this and that. Then we came crawling back a couple years later. And
Been with me for about 6-7 years now, right?
Yeah.
6-7 years.
Yeah.
And let's talk about that. Your business is growing. What's the number one reason why you think your business, because you're having a record year, and this is normally, you told me your January was the best month you've ever had in the history of your company.
Doubled our best month.
Doubled your best
Doubled
month
our
ever.
best month. Yeah.
Isn't January historically slow for
Slow,
roofers?
yeah. Especially the way the economy is right now.
What do you think the biggest change in your business is?
Directing all of our marketing to digital marketing. Everything 100% digital. We got away from sending the postcards to the mailboxes, to paying people to knock on doors. Everything is 100% digital, basically all through One SEO.
But you also have to have, are you putting systems in place, process? Are you hiring more people? I mean,
everything went more digital. All the guys are using iPads now, a new CRM, no more paper contracts, got rid of all the paper, just a lot more organized that way.
When I heard you brought someone in as almost like a CEO from another company, are they helping you out?
I did, big time.
Can you tell me how that transpired? Or I know he's a friend of yours. You don't have to give his name here,
Yeah.
but is he more of talk to me about that? I mean, what made you decide to make that move?
His name will be released at some point, but a mentor of mine, a good friend of mine, a good business leader, a good boss. I brought him in for the organizational part. Putting all the systems in place, as far as running the sales and software and the organizational parts.
And he owns a contracting company also, correct?
He does as well, yeah.
And it seems like you guys are making a great team because you guys are having record numbers, and it seems like he's helping with some of the organizational things.
Absolutely.
Systems, processes, seems like you guys are doing a lot more training. Is that correct?
A lot more training, more organization.
Can you talk to me about, why is a customer, because you're very customer-centric, right, Josh?
Yeah.
Your relationship, why you always talk about, I hear you say to your employees all the time, customer first, customer first. Can you tell me why? Because it's just not a job. I heard someone say to you, oh, we didn't sell this one person everything, and you were like, dude, they're going to come back for this, this, and this over time. Treat them right. Can you talk to me about that, the life value of a customer, not just a quick sale?
This business, it's all about the customer because, you're doing somebody's house. It's basically, it's not a job. I'm helping people every day. I go to their house. I'm helping them with a problem, whether they need to fix the roof, they need to change the look of their house. And you make one person happy, it spreads to the next person. It's like a virus. It just keeps spreading and spreading and spreading.
It's hard for everyone to get employees right now. How are you getting employees? Because if you're growing like this, talk to me about that.
Lucky for us, we keep a lot of employees. They don't really leave us too many times. And we're getting other employees from other companies, even people wanting to learn roofing and siding trade. We're willing to train good people when we're just looking for good people.
I mean, in this competitive environment, are you offering like benefits, health benefits?
Oh, yeah, we probably have the best package in the industry. I mean, the paid time off, vacation days, sick days, 401k, all that kind of stuff.
And I'm assuming you're giving out company vehicles. I saw some of your...
Company vehicles, gas, they even get trips to go to seminars and stuff like that.
So you're almost running it like a legit business at this point. Was it always like that, or did you have to change kind of what you were doing?
We were mom and pop small for a while, but there's only so long you can survive like that. So we had to pivot and make some changes towards a bigger business to attract better employees, basically.
Let's talk about your marketing, right? Because this is obviously a business marketing show, right?
Sure.
How has digital marketing affected your mindset and your business?
Well, everything's digital. I mean, you need anything, you go to your phone, right? If you need a pizza, you go to your phone, Chinese food, a bowling alley, wherever. Anything, you go to your phone. So everything has to be focused on, social media, on digital advertising, everything.
You said the number one way you get customers earlier is by literally Google by far. You said there's nothing even close.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
There's nothing even close.
Not close.
Can you talk to me about what made you go all in on digital, if you don't mind me asking?
Well, we start to see the results. As we were putting some money in, we'd see the results coming from Google. Put a little more money in, more time invested in, you see more results coming. And we just pivoted and just started putting everything towards the Google. You have to do the paid ads, you have to do the SEO, the social, you got to be all in.
Here's a question for you. The ROI, what do you expect for what are you getting actually right now? 10 to 1, 11 to 1, 12 to 1. For every dollar you're putting into the marketing machine, what are you getting back?
Probably 10 to 1.
10 to 1.
Yeah.
You don't even question it no more at this point.
No. To not do it would be silly. I mean, to turn the machine off would be insane.
What would happen if you turned the machine off, do you think, truthfully?
I get a couple calls on my cell phone from referrals here and there, and I'd be back to knocking on doors like the early Lance Bachmann was. Right?
I'm not going back there knocking on
not
doors.
even.
Jesus Lord. We went through this whole entire crazy COVID situation.
Yeah.
Politics does play in the small business. How are you dealing with the pricing, inflation, just overall inflation, gas inflation, materials, not being able to get material? How are you dealing with that as a leader?
It's different. You have to pivot because there's so many colors that have been discontinued. There's a limited stock. For a while, they were out of black shingles. I mean, I'm looking for black shingles. The prices are quadrupled. Prices of metal are insane. So everybody's kind of pivoting. You can't pass it all on to the customer. You have to eat some of these increases. You can't constantly raise prices. But a lot of it is the stock, the colors, and the pricing.
Let's talk about that, about you can't pass it on to the customer. Someone like you, that I saw you grow from literally, you were probably doing $1 million when I met you.
Yeah.
You're going to do well over $10 million this year.
Absolutely.
You're not competing with Chuck in a truck anymore. You can't be the cheapest guy.
No.
Can you talk to me what the difference? And I don't think people understand all it goes into you offering 401k. You show up when things go wrong. People always want the cheapest price.
Yeah.
Can you talk to me about why you shouldn't go with the cheapest price, and how do you and your team overcome that?
A lot of times I see people end up doing the job twice. I mean, you get a guy cheap, he does it, and 2-3 years from now, you need a new job again. I see it happens a lot. I tell people, sometimes it's you take the highest price and you throw them out. You take the lowest price, and you kind of work from the guys in the middle that way.
Yeah. It's funny you say that because I always say to someone, the cheapest person is going to give you the biggest headaches in life.
Absolutely. A lot of guys are uninsured.
Oh, yeah.
Not qualified to do the job.
Well, here's a true story, and thank God Muntz is such a great guy.
Yeah.
Because most people don't realize, like, some people sub things out. They don't. I know you don't try to sub things out, but the landscaper that was doing the concrete work at my house literally splashed concrete over all the new pavers I got, destroyed it, couldn't come off. It was literally like $180,000. Chris had to turn into his insurance because the other guy wasn't insured.
No shit.
And he helped me out. He did me a favor. Like, he fell on the sword. And I still have a great relationship with Chris. Now we own property together. We do a lot of stuff. But, like, there's a businessman that made it right. Most businessmen ain't doing that.
Yeah. The difference from us, too, is our process, basically. I mean, from the time you make a phone call to our office, to the way it gets scheduled, to the way the project manager handles the job, to the way it's done. I mean, that's the experience you get with us. It's more of an experience than just coming here, slapping a roof on, and leaving.
To grow from 1 to 10 million plus now this year, you've had to go through some type of changes. Can you talk to me about like your mindset, leadership? Can you talk to me about like any of those type of, because people don't realize like you could be a $1 million business for the next 30 years if you don't start changing things.
A lot more leadership involved. You have a bigger team now, a lot more egos to deal with, a lot of more balancing out employees and managing people's attitudes. Like I said, egos, a lot more helping people, coaching people along the way. That too.
What advice would you give to anyone right now that is struggling around that $1 million, $500,000 mark in roofing siding? What advice would you give them to punch through? I call it punch through the ceiling. Like, let's effing go. Like, let's get it done to drive it forward. Like, it's time to build. What would you say to that person?
Go all in on digital, man.
But they still have systems, processes. You got to give me something better than that, Josh.
Get a good system in place.
I appreciate the I love the punchline. I love it. I love the reco.
Now, if I was starting a new business, you got to start from the top. Have a couple good people at the top. Know what you're doing. Only specialize in a couple things. Don't try to get involved in everything. You see exterior guys will do everything from cut your lawn to do your roof. I mean, just focus on a couple things and then nail down your advertising and just certain areas where you want to go.
Here's a question for you.
Yeah.
I mean this from the bottom of my heart.
Sure.
Can you please tell me what One SEO has done for your business?
I turned me from basically a small-time operation to a real legit business. People actually care too. 12 o'clock at night. If I need something on my Facebook posted, I could always send an email. If there's a storm and we need our storm campaign turned on, I could fire over an email to One SEO and they'll turn it on right away.
You were with other agencies before One SEO.
Yeah.
What would you say the biggest difference is?
The other agencies, their solution was always add more money, add more money, add more money. Your guys, One SEO's solution was always kind of like, let us tweak this over here, tweak this over there. And also just the customer service. You become friends with people that work here,
Yeah. Well, Josh, thank you so much for being on the Den.
Thank you.
I appreciate it. Congratulations on all your success.
Thank you. Appreciate it.